What's Seinfeld like? Because every time I see an interview of his, he's so cerebral. He's very methodical. Like between him and Larry David, it just the way they dissect life and just what? There's funny in that, and then they go in this. It just unfolds like layers and layers. So
we had a great time when he came for the interview. It took a long time to set it up, but when he came in, we did most of the interviews at the Strip itself. Mm-hmm. Because we felt that being in that environment would bring back memories.
Sure. And
it was true. Yeah, he did a great interview and very insightful, very open. And he stayed, he wasn't rushing off, which was great. Because a lot of times people, they're in a hurry. Their schedule doesn't allow them to hang out for such a long time. It was just a wonderful day. We took a lot of pictures, and he told funny stories, and it was really fantastic. I mean, it was just great. Every one of them was an experience. And he talked about how grateful he was. He goes, I feel like I was born in 1976 because that's when this club opened, and that's when my life began.
No kidding.
Yeah, that was one of his quotes, which was amazing. I feel like I was born in 1976. And, and then Paul Reiser remembered the story of how they got friendly, because originally they weren't that friendly. There was an awkwardness, because when Paul first got to the club, he was dating a comedian named Carol Leifer, mm-hmm. who was a girl, by the way, which is a good fact to know. And she lives in California now, Carol Leifer. Mm-hmm. And he said, within a very short time, Jerry Seinfeld was dating Carol Leifer. And he never really knew how that happened. He said, here this guy was like, and it's so funny because Gilbert Gottfried used to imitate Jerry Seinfeld way before he was famous. I don't know if you know that Gilbert does great imitations of all comedians. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But he does a great Seinfeld. And people would be like, why are you imitating Jerry Seinfeld? He's nobody. He's just a comic from the club, Yeah. But Gilbert would always do Seinfeld. And once Seinfeld kicked in, every comic was doing Seinfeld, not just as an imitation, but their act sounded like Jerry Seinfeld.
Right.
Everybody tried to do that, So the night before New Year's Eve, I think it may have been 1979 or 1980, Paul walked over to Jerry, and he said, let's put this Carol thing behind us. Mm-hmm. And he put out his hand to shake hands with him, and they shook hands, and that was the start of their real friendship. And the next day they started that New Year's brunch, and it's going on all these years.
Wow. That's amazing.